Coach, you want to start with the statement?
I mean, I think that Abilene Christian gets a lot of credit tonight for making us look like not a very good reflection of us. You know, I mean, they really took it to us in every phase. You know, and it's kind of tough for this group to go out that way. But I don't, in my mind, it doesn't change much about the way I feel about them. We got together here at kind of a tough moment. They've taken it pretty far. The group of seniors took it pretty far. We've got a good little nucleus still in there that has got to figure out, you know, 2 years in a row we've lost our last 2 games. And that we got to flip that, you know. So total appreciation for the senior group. And then, you know, motivation for, you know, what we need to do in the offseason. I think the last 2 games, physically and athletically, it was tough on us. That didn't really happen in many games. I mean, maybe Oklahoma State, Kansas State, and Florida Gulf Coast. Abilene Christian did the same thing tonight, you know. And I told Coach Goodenough that too. I mean, they did to us tonight what I think not very many teams have done, you know. And so they get a lot of credit for that. Love that senior group. I mean, that's a good group of players, and so we'll miss them here. We'll miss the things that they helped us get done. I think I know they have a really bright future in the things they're going to do. I think some of them are able to go play if they want to go do it, and I think some of them will. And I think they really like basketball, so they should. I mean, I think as long as you're enjoying it, and if somebody lets you play a little bit, I know you get 45 and balled really fast, so go play, you know, go play. And I think we'll have some in there. But, I mean, that's the night. I thought our crowd was great, and I thank them immensely. I love our band. Peyton Hole is not overrated, I'll tell you that. But I didn't know they were going to be here. I'm so appreciative of them being here. We had a really good atmosphere in here. This place does well with women's basketball. I knew that 2 years ago when I drove my car here. And that was a great crowd in the middle of this time of year, spring break, whatever. And I really, really appreciate that. Our team is built. They deserve to have that. I mean, they're 28-3, 30-3, something like that. What are we now at home?
28-3.
28-3 over 2 years at home. I mean, that's 92 something percent. That's impressive. And so, anyway, that's the night. I mean, Abilene Christian, all credit to them. They absolutely whipped us. Whipped us.
Questions?
I guess we'll talk about it the second quarter a little bit. I mean, you guys come out like the usual home court start, and then they switch a few things defensively, up the pressure a little bit, and then it kind of got
Yeah, I mean, boy, I'm going to miss Jade Upshaw just lighting people up. I mean, like, what fun that is, you know, and she's done that to so many people. And, you know, I used a lot of timeouts early that I don't usually do. I just kept kind of saying the same thing. You know, I just thought they were physically taking it to us. We were disorganized against it. We kept leaving the back of the press. And I don't think there was much there, but we didn't have a back outlet. And some of that is, you know, Bree hasn't practiced. She's usually our 4. Leah plays the 4 successfully, but not very much at a time. And Kemp, same thing. So we didn't have our normal flow either. And so that's not an excuse. But I do think that impacted us a little bit. The one that's always back there was not back there. And so I thought early in the game, and I said this, the score is not indicative of what's going on. We're just burying threes. And that kind of proved to be right. I thought they were missing and we were making. But I liked their looks better than I liked our looks. So
How different is that trying to switch in game tactics you can change what you're doing offensively, defensively, compared to just being physically beaten?
I don't know that we don't have a lot of things. I mean, we've played 99.3% man probably, or something crazy like that. We have a couple different ball screen coverages that we can do. But, we needed to up the energy level, the physicality, and we never matched that. We were never able to do that. I thought their center was tremendous too. I mean, she was just really good, active, and made everything. So for us and the style that we play, but that's the hardest thing. I mean, if you're in a basketball game and you can't get to the fight, the tactics don't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. And so,
for helping you start what's been a really successful start to your first 2 years here.
A lot. They mean a lot because I think they believed me. I think that's the right word when I was like probably talking crazy, I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. And I was like, we're going to go after those cats up there, and giving them credit. They're competitive and they're good basketball players, and they did, So individually, they're all a little different. Your relationship with them all is a little bit different. I'm super proud of the people that they are. That's very important to me. And so I think it starts with that. Obviously, we get to watch them play basketball. I got to watch a lot of great things that they did. So I have an appreciation for what they were able to accomplish out there. I think that they leave a really good legacy here that hopefully we can build on, and I think they understand that. They probably will. I think they'll always look back and be proud, and we'll always have a twinge of what could we have done to try to get all the way to where we wanted to go, but sometimes you don't get everything you want. Sometimes the fairy tale doesn't end exactly the way you maybe think it's going to.
You might have already mentioned this earlier, but in that team huddle you had on the court, like you always do after the game, or some of the things that you said to the team there at the end? Pretty much this. That, number one, show appreciation to the crowd that was here. And people enjoyed watching them play. There's no promotion. People just paid money to come watch them, At some point, I'll talk to the younger ones about when that happens, we need to show better. But we talked about that, the crowd. It's not like that everywhere, but they've earned that. So we talked about that. We talked about just what they helped us get done, and that we're here for them if we can help in any way. I think they know that. And then I, briefly about the sting and the work ahead for the ones that are back. They've got to help us recruit. Portal opens tomorrow. Yay. Fun college basketball, right? We're going to be in there looking around, seeing what we can find. We got to find great people. We got to find people that can help us win, just like we've already done. We got to do it again, though. They've got to help us. I think they understand that, and that's what we're headed to do right now. And so, hit on all of those things and just told them thanks. Not the way we want to go out. I mean, that was a tail kicking. With no answers. We didn't have any answers other than how many more minutes of this do we have. I mean, that's the way I felt in the fourth quarter. It's just like there's no answer from us, and that's a credit to them. Once again, I don't feel that way often. I've not felt. Every time this year I felt that way. That was a really good team over there, So I'll loop them in there too. They played a lot of the year without 10 in the conference season, so their records, they're probably better than what their record shows, and their record's pretty good.
Kind of touched on it a second, but what does that do to kind of, thinking about this season and tonight of, probably stay here later, wake up first thing in the morning and move right on to next season with all that you've got to bring in and turn over? What does that do to kind of having to turn the page that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone in college basketball will tell you that it's gotten weird. I don't know how I don't know what the word is, but I mean, you're working on player retention while getting ready to still play, you know? I mean, I told our staff today, like, I can't imagine being in the Sweet 16 and like you got one shot I mean, some of those, they're trying to win the national championship, and they have to deal with that in the middle of it. They're not dealing with, should we ice ball screen, should we drop, like how are we going to score on these guys? They're doing all of that, and they're doing that side of it too. And it's just the world we're in now. I don't know the better solution. I don't know when to do this, but it just kind of never stops now. And so I mean, it is what it is. Like, go. We benefited from it before. I mean, we got Jade Upshaw out of there. That was a good get. She's been fun to watch. I mean, so we've already had to begin that process, you know. And it's always been that way to a certain degree, but it's going to be on steroids tomorrow morning. You know, it used to kind of be, a lot of your roster was set, and you maybe had like 1 or 2 scholarships. You were going to take a junior college kid here, there, and now it's just not that way at all. It's a lot of roster building is going to happen from now until May, I guess it is, for the most part. So I don't love all the things that we're having to manage, but I also don't have a solution to make it better. So you can't complain if you don't know how to fix it. And I don't know how to fix it. So we'll be in there tomorrow. We'll be working with the group that we've got coming back that I'm excited about. We'll add some good pieces to them. You know, I haven't talked all year. We've got some really good high school kids coming in from right here. They're athletic. They're winners. You know, Cox sisters, Emery Bohannon. I mean, I think that those are really good freshmen. I think they're really good freshmen in terms of kind of what I talked about, physicality and athleticism. I know they help us with that. And so we got to continue to be skilled, and I think we need more of that. And I think they're a really good step. Now we got to find some other pieces to put around the ones that are back, them, and grow a new team that'll be different. But I'm excited about that too. I mean, I love the ones we just had, but it doesn't recharge you to try to figure out what you're going to build from here. And so I kind of shift quickly into that. I don't think I need to watch this one again. I'll watch it this summer or something. But it'll be a while. I don't need to see it tonight, I'll tell you that.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you guys for covering us.